Marty Kavanagh at 11, Carlow's all-time leading scorer. And in the rest of the half-forward line, James Doyle of Naomh Morling, who had a cracking performance in Ballycran last week. Also coming in on the forward line, John Michael Nolan. He did start last week. He's been plagued with injury, but it's great to see the big Michael man back in the Carlow attack, along with Paddy Boland. Paddy came on as a sub last week in Ballycran, but he scored some brilliant goals in this Joe McDonagh, as he did in the Alliance National Hurling League. On top of the left, the man that finished last week was a 2-3 or 2-4, Chris Nolan. We have a Ronavine in Netwatch Cullen Park as the Carlow team line up near the dugout. Everybody is ready for action here, and we come to Terence Kelly immediately after this. The Dr. Cullen Park roar here in Netwatch Cullen Park. Turns as a big day. It's a nerve-wracking day. There's a huge crowd in to see it, and we thought it might be that bit bigger, but however, it's bigger than it normally is. Offaly already in the final. Carlow have one job to do: go and win it. If they don't win, or Leash or Kerry win, they'll be in the final. A draw for Carlow here today and a win for Kerry would still put Carlow in the final, but a draw is not suitable if Leash win down in Kerry, and it's between the three teams to join Offaly in Croke Park. It's a big day for Carlow. It's as big as they've had in quite a while. You're looking forward to it.
Absolutely, it's a massive day for Carlow hurling, so it is. They're unbeaten, Offaly are unbeaten, while Carlow had 2 draws, but Brendan, we're on the way.
We certainly are, and Carlow will be playing from right to left in this the opening half here in Netwatch Cullen Park. The pitch cut to perfection as Offaly's Jack Screeney from Kilcormac. No late changes on the Offaly team, sends a short ball downfield. Paul Dale gets an interception there for Carlow, and Dermot the sledge burn goes back to try and win it for Carlow. The hand pass from Offaly back to their midfielder. The shot, Jack Screeney from Kilcormac tried to get it in. Second bite for Kerry, or for Offaly I should say, goes in, and it's gone to the right hand side and wide. And before we do get into the thick of the action, we remember today that late of Waterford Irish Sugar and former Carlow player Tony Whelan, 14 years with the county, who sadly passed away. Here's the ball downfield. Carlow, John Michael Nolan tries to get Paddy Boland, runs in onto a chance for Carlow here. John Michael Nolan, bit of pulling and dragging, don't know where the ball has gone, but the Offaly corner back, Conor Hardy man, his first appearance, the Kinnity man, plays it short out to the wing half back position. Offaly come from the half back line, drilling it downfield. Paul Dial came to intercept, but Dermot Byrne intercept in the middle. Here goes James Dial from St Mullins. Leonard's one for the middle. That's the opening score. That's right at his top drawer, as they always say. Brilliant score from Dial. He got into space, they defended it well. Good score, Carlow. Good start, James Dial.
Yeah, the man from Drana, picked the ball out, broke down from Dermot Byrne. The sledge passed it to James, probably 80 yards out, sent it over the bar. Cracking start, Brendan.
Sun shines brightly. Offaly line out with, did I give you all the Carlow team? I can't remember, I'm so excited. Fiacre Fitzpatrick, Dermot Byrne, Jack McCullen the halfback, and Conor Keogh, Kevin Mack in the middle. John Nolan, Mount Leinster Rangers, Marty Kavanagh, James Dial half forward line, and John Michael Nolan, Paddy Boland, Chris Nolan full forward line. Offaly with Eamon Cleary of Shinrone in goal, Conor Hardyman, Kinnity, Ben Keneally, St Rynagh's, and James Nally of Belmont. Sideline ball is taken on the far side. Offaly try and mop it up. Sun is shining brightly. The Offaly defensive struggle to deal with it at the moment as Carlow intercepted in the middle of the park, and that's great chasing by James Dial. He's going for his second, floats it in, has it got the legs, goes in, it's gone to the right and wide, but Dial is prowling around the middle of the park there. 2 chances for him, successful with one, not with the other. James Dial sends that one to the right and wide, so there we go.
Yeah, quality hurler, like he got 1-2 last week up in Ballycran, and we said he's an exceptional good hurler, Brendan, but Offaly are on the attack.
They certainly are. We'd like to welcome all our listeners across the world and all the Carlovians. There's many of them right across the world today, and people from other counties who are tuning in. It's a line ball on that far side. The rest of the Offaly team, Dara Marsh, Shinrone, Killian Sampson, Owen Parlin, Owen making his debut in the Joe Mack today as well. Paddy Delaney of Kinnity, there's a name. Jack Screeney, Kilcormac in the middle of the park. Liam Langton, Joey Keenahan and Conor Langton, all from the Clyde Gales club in Offaly in the half forward line. McCall O'Mara of Clara, Shane Lowry country, he's a right corner forward. Shane Dooley of Tullamore, another great name in Offaly hurling, and Shane, what a veteran he is, and John Murphy from Ballinamere. Here we go Carlow, Marty Kavanagh. Marty Kavanagh switches it to Chris Nolan of Mount Leinster range on the far side. Nolan cuts back inside the 45. Didn't get as nice an angle as he would have liked, but it's gone right and wide. And Carlow with 3 chances turns. They've only converted 1. That's their second wide. Chris Nolan, he probably should have done better that occasion.
Yeah, it's true. Like Chris got 2-4 last week. He was on fire. Like, you know, he'd be disappointed with that effort, Brendan. But listen, anybody can make a mistake.
Offaly clear the ball downfield. Offaly man running onto it, just got a grip onto it. Carlow again come out and defend it. Paul Dyle was there, Jack Kavanagh is there. He's worked hard in this. Joe McDonough just trying to raise that ball. Paul Dyle goes back, plays it to the man wearing 9, Kevin MacDonald. Kevin MacDonald to his wing half back. His wing half back is Fiacre Fitzpatrick. Great ball right over towards Marty Kavanagh. Kavanagh runs onto this, lets it run on the outside, tries to cut inside his man. Difficult angle. Marty stays going. Marty Kavanagh. Referee keeps a close eye on proceedings. Marty blocked down on that far side. Anyone said Offaly didn't come here to contest is talking shoulder a hat, because they're going to defend this one, and Marty didn't get a touch on that one. Tries to win it back. Out comes the Offaly midfielder. He does well with it. Paddy Delaney from Kennedy. Paddy finds space, gets it to Jack Screeney. Screeney thumps a long one down into the corner. Paul Dyle is in there behind it again. The Carlow hurler of the year defends this one. And did it come off the Offaly man? The linesman looks like he pointed the flag towards for Carlow. Yeah, that's it. Well, Offaly didn't remonstrate. The referee today is Chris Mooney of Dublin. He did referee the under-20 between Wexford and Kilkenny in UPMC Nolan Park during the week. A rub of the green for Carlow there, turns.
Yeah, rub of the green, like, you know, but obviously there was nothing wrong. And Diarmaid Byrne takes that sideline, Brendan.
Great sideline cut, downfield it goes. John Michael runs out to try and get a bit of purchase on it, but Killian Sampson of Offaly, the centre back, fine hurler Killian. Great spine in their defence at the moment, sends one downfield. Offaly looking for their first score. Carlow leading 1 point to no score here, with thanks to Ray Wheel and Waste Management. Here's a chance for Offaly now, and he's fouled the ball, the wing half back. Darragh Maher of Shinrone. It's going to be a free from the 65 in his own half of the park. And I suppose you'd have to feel a bit sorry for him, because he went about addressing it properly, and he didn't do it, and he's given away the foul. There's an injury worry for Carlow back at their own half back line, but referee Chris Mooney of Dublin has given Carlow free from the 65. Now, little or no breeze turns. Marty has the free from his own 65. It's well within his scope, but he just can't force it, and they have to take every chance and opportunity available, because obviously there's tension, there's nerves out there.
There is, of course. He scored 7 from play spots last week. He scored a goal and 4 points from play last week. You know, he's a phenomenal free taker here, Brendan. Don't put this, you know, beyond him, because he's a massive free taker.
Here he is, Marty Kavanagh of St Mullins. Back in February, he broke the all-time record. Sends this one in, and is that heading towards the goal? That's gone over the bar. It's one for Marty. 29 goals and 600 points in 106 games in the 23rd of February. Brought him to a record of 687, outscoring his clubmate Pat Cody on 128 games with 676 points. 14-3-6-4 Pat scored. Here come Offaly. Carlow lead by 2 points to no score. Diarmaid Byrne got a nudge there, but here comes the Offaly number 10. That's Liam Langton of Clyde Gales. I did say it's an all Clyde Gales. That's good defending for Carlow. And that's lovely play down the wing half back position. Diarmaid Byrne drives at 60-70 metres. Here's Paddy Boland. Up he goes, Paddy. Oh, great take, Paddy Boland. Tries to make his way towards goal, Paddy. Was he fouled? Here's Chris Nolan. Chris Nolan looking for the goal. Chris Nolan. Oh yes, Chris Nolan has the goal. How did he stop that? How does he disallow that? How does he give a free there if he give an advantage to put the ball in the back of the net? Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He scored the goal and he given the advantage. I don't believe it, Terence Kelly. I don't believe it.
Listen, Paddy went to the house. Paddy Boland went to the house, like we saw Chris say, flick the ball inside.
How the fuck did he disallow that?
Yeah. He didn't give the advantage. Like, it sounds a terrible decision.
How long can he give advantage for?
He's kind of asking the question. Paddy Boland is asking the question, but you can ask what you like. He has put up his hand and the goal is disallowed.
Well, the Offaly lads are telling me here beside me he had it already blown, but I tell you one thing, I wouldn't like to be in Tullamore if one like that went against me. You wouldn't get out of it. Anyway, it's a free into Carlow. It's a free, and the Offaly lads are laughing at me here. Marty Kavanagh will take the free. He puts Carlow 3 points to the good here with a glorious opportunity of a goal. Went to begging there. That's a bit of a talking point. However, turns they've got a 1 pointer and not a 3 pointer. But what a take from Paddy Boland.
Anyway, I tell you, the most noticeable man here now will be Chris Mooney. The ref, like, you know, people will think that was a strange decision. Listen, we have to go with the Brendan and Offaly on the attack.
One of Ireland's greatest hurling supporters is tuned to us in Limerick, the great Hammy Dawson. He's cheering for Carlow today. Good man, Hammy. He tunes the KCLR quite regularly. Marty Kavanagh with a chance from the 45 to stick Carlow 4 points in front. It's a dream start, to be fair.
And I don't know what that free was.
Neither do I, but it's a free in anyway.
Anyways, maybe it's payback time.
Here's Marty with the free. So, fine crowd on the bank on the far side as the man from St Mullins lifts this one. and strikes it, and he sends it straight between the sticks. It's another one for Marty. It's Carlow's fourth, Marty's second, or is it his third? Marty's third, yeah, and one for James Doyle, who started the ball rolling. Here's the man making his debut, Eamon Cleary of Shinrone in the Offaly goal. Downfield he sends it. Dermot, the sledge burn is underneath it. Dermot Byrne breaks it. The closest man to him was the Carlow number 10, John Nolan. And it's a line ball.
The linesman to wave the flag.
It's not a bad start, is it?
It's not a bad start, like, but you'll be thinking about that miss. But listen, it was a great combination with Paddy Boland went to the clouds on jokes aside. Like,
well, Michael Dignan said to me in Tullamore in the league match, he's the best hand in hurling. He certainly had a good hand there. There's Dermot Byrne. Line ball is good over towards Chris Nolan. First touch has to be good from Nolan. Turns well, strikes it, has it the legs. Chris Nolan into the goalkeeper's hand. Eamon Cleary is going to play a 3/4 length ball right over to the middle of the park. He does really well. Offaly finding their men. Here's a long one in around the house from Offaly. If that has the legs, it's gone all the way, but it could be too far, and that's a wide for Offaly. And the umpire will flag it wide, and I make that Offaly's first wide of the afternoon. This game brought to you with thanks to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company. Check them out on raywhelan.ie. The nerves should be starting to disappear. Turns we've 8.5 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's true, like, it's a good start.
Paddy had a great ball there. Here's Paddy sending it in. That's top class stuff from Paddy Boland. Paddy Boland is back. The magic hand. He catches two. The one that were penalised a few minutes ago, but he climbs to the stars for that one. He was like the Statue of Liberty there. He went up so high with the big hand.
Honestly, God, the Crows are in danger when Paddy go up. Like, he goes to the top. Another great catch there from Jack Kavanagh.
Jack Kavanagh to James Doyle. Got the first one. Bit of pulling out of James. Ball's gone in towards Marty Kavanagh. Kavanagh being held, but ran onto it, kicked it forward. He did play a bit of football with St. Mullins. Gets it towards John Nolan of Mount Leinster Rangers on the far side. Ball got away from Grass. Looked a little short in Portlaoise for hurling last night. Is it a small bit on the short side here? We won't give out. It's in impeccable condition as always. Here we go, Carlow. Fiacre Fitzpatrick from Mount Leinster Rangers floats it in, and Carlow off to a flyer here. 6 points to no score to lead Offaly after 10 minutes. You'd have to be happy with that turn, Skelly.
Yeah, you'd have to be happy, like, the day is beautiful, the hurling is great, like, to say that, Carlow started so well, it's an Offaly team, great, might be listening to you, but have 15 nice hurlers out there.
There's two balls on the field as well, but the goalkeeper, Eamon Cleary, drives it downfield. Dermot Byrne is underneath it. Carlow in that breaking ball. Fiacre Fitzpatrick, was he tripped there? Referee Chris Mooney says no. Carlow have got to deal with it. And Offaly's given a free at Offaly on this occasion, so this can be Offaly's first score. Shane Dooley's on the field. Turns, we've seen him many times before. He's from a great hurling dynasty up there in County Offaly, and he's been a tremendous servant to Offaly. Shane Dooley, the Tullamore man, and I think he's going to take this free as well. He certainly is. He's been brilliant, hasn't he?
The Dooleys are part of Offaly hurling for the last 40, 50 years, like, being a massive family, a massive input to Offaly hurling.
There's Shane with the free, sends it in, and I think he has it. Is it the white flag? It is. First score for Shane Dooley. Shane Dooley. The boys were all Shinrone, weren't they? Joe and the boys. Were the Shane is Tullamore, were the boys Shinrone, the works, the Dooleys?
No, they were Clarine.
Clarine, yeah. Here come Carlow, Paul Doyle sends it downfield, looking for Marty Cavan on the far side. He's done well, he's won a great ball. There's an advantage coming here. It's not going to work out. The catching is brilliant by Carlow, isn't it?
Brilliant, like, he got a great ball. Paddy got two massive balls also before that, but Marty caught that ball and the man caught Marty at the same time under the old press box, and it's a free in the card. Not a simple one, Brendan, but Marty is on the ball.
Certainly so. It'll be important if he sticks it over. Here is the free from Marty. 3 metres from the sideline, just inside the 65. Offaly half of the park. 6 points Carlow, 1 point to Offaly. 11 minutes gone. Any word from Tralee? So we're going to get a scoreline from Tralee in a minute to see how Kerry and Laois are getting on. Here's the free for Marty Kavanagh, the kiddo from St. Mullins. Here's the lift. Fell off it a little bit. Still goes in there. He's got it. He fell off it a little bit, but he'll be happy that that's gone in and over the bar. 4 for Marty. And the update from Tralee. 5 points to Kerry, 4 points to Laois. It started at the same time. 11.5 minutes gone there. Carlow leading. Here's John Nolan of Mount Leinster Rangers. Had a great game last week. Let that fly from halfway down the country. It's a great score for John Nolan. John Nolan of Mount Leinster Rangers. He's a brother of Chris at corner forward. The man that goes to Mary Ian Limerick. He's buried that one. I had to say that because I said he was in UL a few weeks ago, and I was told by a fella that's a student in Carlow, you got the wrong college for that man, he's in college with me, but there we are.
In fact, these two more brothers too, they're not about Kyle and Jamie, but as I said, he scored 1-2 last week. Maybe the goal was a bit fortunate, but this, he got 2 cracking scores. That was a great point.
Jack McCullough racing across the try and win this one. Offaly man falls to the ground. Carlow going to try and defend it, and they have they? Offaly get it back. There's been 5 line balls on that far side, and ironically, the 5 of them have gone to Carlow.
They're all Carlow balls, Dion McCord will get back for this one again, I presume.
I think Dermot is coming across to take this. Yeah, he's well able to cut. He's well able to cut him. Still positive with the new start, Terence, and 8 points to 1. Carlow lead by 7. Great position to be in. 12, 13 minutes on the clock.
It's great. Like, you know, as I said that today, God, the fact that the day is lovely, the pitch is lovely, and you know, a massive crowd here, and you know, Carlow going well, really well.
Here's Dermot Byrne with the sideline cut. Cuts it down towards the middle of the park. Breaking ball favours the Offaly man on this occasion. They're going to carry it through. They're going to go short. Nice little flick ball in field, but a great interception. Carlow are working their socks off as Offaly go short. Again, trying to play it to Shane Dooley. Went for the long one. Jack Kavanagh was in, closed them down, and then in come the number 9, Kevin MacDonald. Offaly come forward though, trying to throw a ball, and it's going to be a free out.
Controversy every day, isn't it, with the handball?
A throw ball, so it's going to be a free out.
Kevin
Mack is going to.
I was speaking with his granddad last night. 60 years married today, Brendan. Kevin and Nancy.
Happy anniversary. Great hurling family as well. There's a massive ball from Kevin. John Michael Nolan is underneath this one. Ball brings in. Here's Chris Nolan. Down the corner, sends it. Oh, it's a good score. No, the keeper's done well. He's done really well. The ball flips back outfield. Goal chance gone to begging. John Michael tried to win it back, but Offaly tied it up through Conor Hardiman. Downfield he sends it. And they do well to keep it in on that far side. Bit of urgency from Offaly on this occasion. Conor Langton, Clyde Gales, making his debut into Joe Mack. Sends it in across the middle. Out comes Paul Dial. Good full back play by the Carlow man. Wing half back for Fitzpatrick Anderson. He runs egg and spoon style. Plays it to Dermot Byrne. Sledge fancies a big one. Throws everything behind this one. Goes from distance, but it's gone to the right and wide. It was ambitious. However, Carlow still lead by 8 points to 1 here in Netwatch Cullen Park, with thanks to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company. Check them out on raywhelan.ie. Offaly's Dara Marr from Shinrone, another great club. Shinrone man drives it across field. Carlow underneath it, trying to win the breaking ball, and there's 2-3 Carlow men there. Jack McCullough, quick ball from McCullough, plays it to the man in the middle of the park wearing 9, Kevin MacDonald. MacDonald selling it downfield, but it's poor, it's not good. He played it shorter instead of long. Carlow are going for long range efforts, but there's 2 gone wide. Now last week in Ballycran they were all going over, but they're getting a little bit of space out there, Carlow, and they have a good start, 8 points to 1, but it should be about 12 points to 1.
Yeah, listen, they're having 4 wides after having 2 wides, but you know, Carlow dominating, you know, most places of the field at the present time. They're doing very well. Here
come Offaly in defence. They're number 4, James Nally from the famous Belmont Club. Poor ball from James. Jack Kavanagh runs onto this, having one of his best hurling years. Kavanagh runs down the stand side. He wasn't happy with the challenge. John Michael Nolan comes looking for a good hand by the Michael man. His hand pass wasn't great though. Picked back up by James Dial, scored the first point. Trying to get a second one. James Dial whips that one. And that is fella's top of the bus for there. Good score, James Dial. Top of the bus from the Nave Mauling man. Brilliant score, 9 points to 1. Good set of forwards, certainly, to be fair, the backs are doing well, but Dial has got 2 cracking scores.
And listen, Seamus and Hadley must be very happy with their son, like, he's a prize asset, like, you know, he's a marvellous hurler, so he is.
Here comes the ball downfield for Offaly. Jack Kavanagh breaks it. Carlow again running James Dial, hand pass to the man in space, Chris Nolan, looking for a better available player, sends it down towards Marty Kavanagh from play. He's been marked tightly, but he goes dangerous. He's been marked tightly indeed. That ball blocked down. Carlow come looking for it again. They're working hard. Offaly there. Carlow kick it away. Chris Nolan gets it in space. Was he fouled? Referee says no. He ran into an Offaly man, and Offaly are going to clear through Killian Sampson. Sampson down to the middle of the park. Conor Langton for Offaly. Clyde Gales man goes from distance, dropping in around the house. Danger here. Out comes Brian Tracy. Tracy's got to be positive on this one. He is, but the ball breaks favourably to an Offaly man. And Jack McCullough, I think he could have rescued Carlow here. He stays toe to toe with the man in attacking the ball. He has to work his way back out towards the 45 metre line. Carlow's Jack McCullough puts in a brilliant block. Offaly get a second bite of the cherry, drive it back in. Brian Tracy calls for it, catches it in the breadbasket, winds up for the big one and lashes it 80-90 metres downfield. Marty Kavanagh's underneath it, seen to be held. Referee says play on as Killian Sampson tidies it up for Offaly, sends it back down the flank on the far side. Offaly on, trying to move it back in field, a long floated hand pass back, reverse finds Paddy Delaney, the man from Kennedy. The Delaney's was a Paddy signed the Offaly Rover when they won one of the All-Irelands back in the 80s, sends it back in across the field, ball breaks in field, the 2 Nolans go for it, John and Chris, but it's the Offaly man comes out with it. Dara Mara Shinrone fires one straight down the Carlow defence into the Dublin Road end goal, and he registers Offaly's second score. Dara Mara Shinrone, he sends it in and over the bar. He's got Killian Sampson of Shinrone beside him. Carlow lead by 7. That's Offaly's second point, but it's 9 points to 2. 17 minutes played in the first half. A little bit of a wasted ball from John Nolan on that far side. Carlow just have to be that little bit sharper as Offaly send one in around the house. Up goes Paul Dale again. It's a great take for Offaly. They're getting a bit of a purple patch here. Carlow have got to be careful, albeit leading. Carlow defend this one, discipline the name of the game in defence, and Jack Kavanagh comes across, scoops this one up, read it well. turns off his left-hand side, drives it downfield. Chris Nolan, good take from the My Valley man, turns towards the stand side, looks in at the goal, sends in a great ball, but he doesn't send it well enough. He tried to turn it around the corner. I think Terence looking at what Carlow's application is to shoot from distance if you get the chance. And to be fair to Chris, 9 times out of 10 he's on the ball, but that time he completely missed his shot and drove it 10 yards wide.
Yeah, it's a fact, like, but the main thing, he's getting on the ball.
Yes.
He's getting every ball this year. Like, he scored 2-4, as I said last week. Like, he's a very, very capable hurler. Like, Kevin Mack is going back from there.
Jack Kavanagh. Great take by Jack. Fiacre Fitzpatrick. Back to Kevin MacDonald. Winds up. Took an extra touch out of this one. Looking for John Michael on the edge of the square. Up goes the Michael man. Gets a touch on it. Breaks. Paddy Boland just didn't get across quick enough. The Offaly centre back Killian Sampson tidies it up. Sends it downfield. John Nolan's lost his footing. Offaly are going to come away with this ball. Flicking it back into the half back line. Offaly a little bit of intricate play. Paddy Delaney. Paddy from Kennedy. Little bit of play from Paddy. Well able to play. I've seen him play numerous times before. Back to Dara Marr. Scored from distance a few moments ago. And Dara Marr has scored from distance again. It's another score for Offaly, and it's a good one. But Carlow were a little bit unlucky. John Nolan lost his footing on the far side. Carlow lost possession, and Dara Marr has proved one thing: he can shoot from distance. That's 2 great scores for the Offaly wing half back.
Yeah, in fact, he's very good. John Nolan, in fact, that's twice after slipping there. Like, the champ is he's a great trier and all dress, but it's one of those things. Brendan,
Offaly are well in this game now, but that one has gone to the left and wide. Carlow just lackadaisical at the moment there.
Yeah, 3 wides for Offaly, 5 wides for Carlow, and Offaly are just starting to come into it a little bit, Brendan. Like, what, there's almost 19 minutes gone.
Well, Laois are leading 1-5 to Kerry, 7 points at the moment. 18 minutes gone. That's a great take by Paddy Boland again. That's a lovely hand from Paddy. Got it in as far as the man wearing 8, Conor Keogh. Conor Keogh has it. Was he fouled? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. It's a free into Conor Keogh. Paddy Boland again. That hand is absolutely magic today.
It's magnetic, isn't it? Like,
1-5 to Laois, 7 points Kerry. That's a humdinger. There's a point between them down there.
A point between them. Well, if we do our business here, it's no difference if they're 20 between them.
Well, that's as true. Never said a truer word. Turns. Here's a free from Marty Kavanagh. Put Carlow into double figures. 9 points Carlow, 3 points to Offaly.
Conor Keogh was just feeling his hand there. Like, Conor now, he got the first goal last week. He's a cracking hurler. He was just kind of feeling his fingers there. We put him back to the helmet there again. And,
Marty Kavanagh over the black spot, sends it in.
That's 5 from Brendan.
5 frees from Marty. He's been well marshalled in open play all the same, isn't he?
Yeah, listen, but he's have to get a few balls there at the same time. Like, God, he has a great hand too, Brendan. Paddy Boland himself, like, are doing so well.
There come Offaly. The puck out comes from their goalkeeper, Eamon Cleary. Right down the far side. That's a great take from Eamon Cleary between the 45 and the 65. Plays it back outfield towards Conor Langton. Conor Langton from Offaly. Back to the half back line. There's one teed up and right up into the sky. But Jack Kavanagh comes across. He's got a few great balls already to set. Mullins man, he's hurling well enough for a bit of ground hurling as well. Kilkenny style to Kevin Mack. Kevin MacDonald drives it downfield for Carlow. Up goes Chris Nolan on the far side. Going to fall to John Michael Nolan. John Michael will be well marshalled over there. Chris Nolan runs onto it. That's a Carlow line ball yet again on that side of the park. Now this is up Chris Nolan's street territory. Angle won't be brilliant, but he's on the 13-metre line. He got one against Kildare last year to level the match in the Alliance National Hurling League. This will be a right one for him to score.
Yeah, in fact, and well, the one last year was much further open. This is kind of.
Hasn't got the angle here, has he?
No, it's not that simple.
He struck it well. He struck it very. I tell you one thing. Does he play off a scratch and Burris Golf Club, or what's the story? That's a Rory Mac. Well, we'll have to say Shane Lowry on a day like today. 11 points to 3. Carlow lead. That is Chris Nolan with a splendid sideline cut. That's what you call a bit of class.
See, Sean and Lucy here down underneath is like, they have a couple of good assets out there, like in hurling weight, like, they have to be proud. That was a great score from Chris.
It's great for a fella to be able to stand up and do something like that. Again, a line ball on the far side. I think the linesman on the far side, they're all Carlow balls. We must have a granny here. There's a bit of luck. There's a bit of luck attached to Carlow's ball going out to play on the far side. Local time. Just 5 to 6 here in Carlow. Sundridge, Carlow, 11 points Carlow, 3 points Offaly. I do hope you're enjoying the game, and they're battling for possession in the middle of the park here. They're all spoiling one another's play. Offaly trying to come away with it, Carlow come away with it, but Carlow have it. The hard-working Fiacre Fitzpatrick, he won a prize mentioned in golf last week, and Carlow runs into the man in the middle of the field. Kevin MacDonald whips it back to Dermot Byrne. Dermot Byrne winds up for a big one. The number 6 drives it downfield, breaking ball in towards John Michael Nolan. Just got away from it, has it back to Michael, man turning and striking. John Michael Nolan is good at stuff like that, and the big man from Michael says Garamila Margot. That's another one for John and John Michael. His granddad was the famous Jim Nolan, the man that did the great monologues. A great family too. 12 points to 3. Carlow lead by 9, 22 minutes gone. Turns.
In fact, he got a cracking score last week. He went off at half time. He's a bit of a niggle in the back last week, and I was speaking with him. Like, the chap has been plagued with that injury, but that was a great score, Brandon.
Here come Offaly, clear the ball outfield. Carlow did defeat Offaly by 5 points last year. Michael Fennelly was the manager that day last year. Jack Cavan in the sunshine gathers this one, drives it back in with interest, looking for Paddy Boland and Chris Nolan. John Michael comes across, up he goes, tries to break it, but Offaly've got an extra man there on the breaking ball. Out to come with it, the hand pass goes to Jack Screeney, another great hurling family. His brother was on the great minor team last year. As Offaly drive it forward through Ben Keneally of St. Rynagh's. Ben sends it down to Liam Langton. Lovely turn from Langton. Beautiful hurler, this fella. If he get a chance, he's working to get his place, but his distribution was poor. Kevin Mack went back. Kevin Mack took an extra touch. Beautiful stick work from MacDonald. Clears it downfield. The man out to try and grab it is Marty Kavanagh. Does brilliantly, Marty Kavanagh. Carlow played back into the middle of the park. Here comes Fiacre running through the middle. Short ball upfield, a bit too short. They were looking to get Chris Nolan in on play. Paddy Boland and Chris Nolan have it between them. Here's Chris Nolan. He has time, he has space. Chris Nolan sends it into Paddy Boland. Chris Nolan. It was a dodgy looking pass, and I have to say the referee blew one earlier. For me, it was a dodgy one. He should have known better. He's experienced. He might have took the shot himself.
Yeah, listen, he had the score for the taking, but like Paddy
that was a free. It was a free. It's a free. Yeah. Draw, was it?
And he had the score for the taking, but listen, anyway, the referee, he kind of pulled a couple at the other side there not too long ago, so we'd have to accept it.
Level pegging in Kerry, 1-5 to Laois, 8 points to Kerry. Here come Carlow to try and clear this ball. Full-back Conor Lawler didn't get much to do yet. Conor, Carlow Town hurler, but a Palatine footballer. And of course, the footballers play against Wicklow tomorrow in the Tailteann Cup. That's at 4 o'clock in Auckland. We'll have it live here on KCLR 96 FM also, as Marty Kavanagh races onto this one. Needs a bit of support. He's got it on the far side. He gives everything for Carlow and for his club Mount Leinster, or for, better get that right, St. Mullins. Here comes Owen Parlin. And there's a bit of a pull there. Carlow have conceded a free. They have been very disciplined so far. 12 points Carlow, 3 points Offaly, 24 minutes gone here in Netwatch Cullen Park. What have you made of it all, Terence?
Yeah, listen, as Carlow are in the driving seat, like they're playing really, really well. Like, you know, people would say, you know, maybe Offaly are a watered down team. Listen, players have to get the chance, but like Carlow, very, very impressive. 12 points to 3 and probably had a chance of maybe 2 goals.
But they have been impressive all year.
Have been impressive all year, like, and Offaly, like, they're coming on the back of 4 victories also. Like, you know, they beat Kildare by 8 points early on, so they beat Down by 11 points and they beat Kerry by 11 points, and they beat Laois by 3 points. So
that ball has gone in from that free, and it's gone over the bar. And Offaly will be back here on Wednesday night with their under-20s as they take on Wexford in the Leinster final. There's a huge crowd coming. I think there's over 9,000 tickets sold for that already, but Shane Dooley sends in that one and sends it over the bar. 12 points to 4. Carlow lead here in round 5 of the Joe McDonagh Cup at a sun-drenched Netwatch Cullen Park, with this game brought to you thanks to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company, raywhelan.ie. Terence, are you happy?
Surely happy, Brendan. Why wouldn't you be happy? Like, the sun is shining, Carlow winning by 8 points, and you know, and things are going well. And, you know, Carlow are playing well. You know,
John Lahey is here from Kilcormac man with Midlands Ready. John, what have you made of it so far?
Yeah, well, listen, you have to be very impressed with Carlow at this point in time. You know, there's 12 points on the board. Offaly struggling. Maybe just a highlight for Offaly is maybe Dara Maher there at wing back, but isn't Carlow completely dominant in the air and full value for their 8-point lead at this point in time.
You're happy enough with Carlow?
Yeah, very happy. I can't believe they're moving the ball very, very well. I'm very impressed with their aerial threat. Very, very strong, big men like, and I suppose even like if this works out, they're playing in the final. It's going to be humdinger.
Well, certainly will. Thanks for that, John. John is here working Midlands 3 as well. Carlow move it down the far side. Marty Kavanagh, bit of groundwork for Marty in the far side. He was a little bit unlucky. They're keeping right tight to Marty.
Offaly has got a line ball over there.
Indeed.
Offaly has got the first one over there. Yeah, no, in fact, Marty was trying to guide the ball down past the player anyway, and just flicked off his hurley over the line. So
sideline ball to Offaly. We're on the 26 minutes gone here. 12 points to Carlow, 4 points to Offaly. And we've people listening to us all over the world. Paddy Kennedy is in the milking parlour at the moment. They get a blaster. The cows are dancing. Carlow are winning 12 points to 4. Ball centred in across the middle of the park. Running onto it is Conor Keogh, the man from Bahana. Down in St. Mullins sends it in, and the man from Bahana sends it in and over the bar. You heard his father Matty talking to us in Ballycran last week. But Conor Keogh, who's always a good man for a few points and certainly for goals, has sent that one in over the bar. It's a 9-point lead for Carlow, Terence.
Yeah, let it be for his club, let it be for his county, or let it be for his college. That's like, but Carlow on the attack again, Brendan.
Yeah, indeed. Here come Offaly to clear this ball. Paddy Delaney. Paddy was held by Marty Kavanagh there. Marty got away with that one. Referees allowing play to continue. Chris Mooney is our match referee from Dublin. John Murphy, Ballinamere, another famous club in Offaly, plays it back to his centre back, Killian Sampson. Sampson drives it down into the corner, but Conor Lawler comes out. Didn't get a touch on it because all the way back to Kevin Mack, who's playing as a bit of a sweeper at the moment. Drills one down the sideline to John Nolan. Lovely stick work from the Mount Leinster Rangers man. Drives it in towards Paddy Boland. Sprints out to get this one. The big hand didn't grab it this time. The full back did really, really well. But Ben Keneally of St. Ryan is from a great club, and he's a good hurling full back, Ben. He won that one, knocks it back to Eamon Cleary. Eamon for Offaly in the goal, drives it back outfield. It's still a 9-point lead for Carlow. 13 points to Carlow, 4 points to Offaly. 27 minutes gone. The aerial threat, as John was saying, from Offaly is good from Carlow. Kevin Mack wins that one in the air, gets it to Paul Dial. Paul Dial of St. Mullins and captain of Carlow knocks it back to Jack McCull of Bagnallstown Gales. He's looking for Paddy Boland again. Boland runs onto this one, but Keneally and himself are having a good old jing-dong battle in there. But to be fair to Ben Keneally, he got to that ball first, and Paddy has got to be careful.
He has to be careful, right? In fact, they'd say Paddy would prefer the high balls coming in, the last two balls have come in, they were kind of low.
The delivery has to be good, hasn't it?
Yeah, the delivery has to be good, but on the high ball now, he's he's a good bet.
There's the free from Shane Dooley, and Shane, like Marty or Chris, will keep
bar.
that scoreboard ticking over. Shane Dooley with another one. The Tullamore man has got that. Johnny Kelly, of course, the manager of Offaly. Barry Teen and Colm Callanan, his selectors for Carlow. Tom Mullally of Glenmore. Christy Keeley, Mount Leinster Rangers. Patrick Murphy from St. Mullins, and Paddy Mullally, Glenmore, as Carlow come forward. Here's Chris Nolan trying to turn inside the corner back Conor Hardyman. Nolan has turned inside him this time. Chris Nolan goes for the shot, sends it in. Brilliant work by the Rahana man. Sends it in, loves his hurling, sideline cut and a point from play. Nolan, 14 points to 5, Carlow lead, 29 minutes gone here. Last time we checked in Tralee it was 1-5 Laois, 8 points Kerry, level pegging down there.
Yeah, class like Brendan, like he took that ball in at the old tunnel side of that, I think it was Cullen Park, but listen, Carlow on the attack again.
John Nolan, Mount Leinster Rangers, because we have John Michael out there as well. The latest now we have coming from Tralee as Dermot Byrne runs in onto this one. Carlow just trying to get that breaking ball, but Offaly, to their credit, have defended this one well. And it is 1-7-10, so still level in Tralee. So level pegging, and Offaly with a free from their own 45-metre line. There's an Offaly man with a bit of an injury on the far side, but it's Eamon Cleary from Shinrone coming out to take this one, the goalkeeper. 14 points Carlow, 5 points to Offaly. We're on the half-hour mark. You take that, if I rang it this morning and said if you were 14-5 up with 29 minutes gone, you'd say thanks very much.
Yeah, but it's true, we went up last year up in Tullamore and took, gave Offaly 5 points.
Defeat, yeah.
Yeah, and Antrim, on the same day, Kerry beat Antrim, but Antrim came back anyway and beat Kerry in the final afterwards. But Offaly are.
It's a dangerous ball from Offaly. It's a high dropping ball from Shane Dooley. Carlow have got to deal with it. Paul Dale got a touch on it. Jack Kavanagh comes there, wins it, plays it short to the far side. And back there is Kevin McDonald. He's mopped up a lot of great ball for Carlow. He's working well a sweeper. Marty is underneath this one. Huge St. Mullins crowd on that bank on the far side. But in fairness to the centre back, Killian Sampson, he's done well with Carlow. Rob it back. And they've got it back through Chris Nolan from a different angle. Sends it in. Umpire says it's gone wide, but he probably did the right thing. Wides have been scarce. Carlow still lead 14 points to 5 here in Netwatch Cullen Park. We're on the half-hour mark. John Michael has given away a silly free on the 65, and stupid giving away a free like that because Offaly are probably going to score from here.
Yeah, stupid giving away is right, and said Carlow have left on 6 wides, Offaly have 3 wides. Yeah, that was a stupid one, from John Michael Nolan. I kind of thought he was playing on the square, but he's out now. Yards out now.
But it's great to see him back, isn't it?
Oh, it's just great to see him back. He has been a big name in Carlow hurling for the last 7 or 8 years.
He's experienced too. He played in Division 1. He played in the Leinster Championship.
He's a massive hand, so he is.
Certainly yes. Here's Shane Dooley, the old dog for the hard road. Here's Shane. Massive strike on that ball. Now that could be gone a little bit towards the left, and I think it is. Yeah, it's a wide ball. He forced it a little bit.
Yeah, that's the forced it wide.
He may get back onto the practice with Shane Lowry. Put that one wide. 14 points to 5, 31 minutes gone, 4 to the half-time whistle. John Michael is underneath this one, up he goes, great take by John Michael Nolan, gets away from his man, gets an extra touch into, he's got to deliver it now and do it quickly. He's gone for the score. Paddy Boland is underneath it, out comes Paddy. Paddy goes up, he doesn't grab it this time, but he gets the breaking ball, so does Conor Keogh. Now Keogh has it up, trying to feed it across to John Nolan. John Nolan of Mount Leinster Rangers makes an angle for himself, knocks it back out to Marty. It's a little bit too high. James Doyle is there to support him. Marty gets a little bit of a tap, didn't capitalise on it. Carlow should have done better. Offaly are not here to make up the numbers. They're already in the final, but they're competing well. But Carlow lead 14 points to 5. Paul Dial, nothing much passes him. A good bit comes out. Dermot Byrne, he's really done well in the half-back line. Jack McCullough, the Magnallstown man, sends it across to Jack. The two Jack Lincoln well. Jack Kavanagh. Jack fancies one from distance. Jack lets fly. Paddy's on the end line, but that's in the dressing room. It's 14 points to 5. 4 minutes to the half-time whistle turns, Kelly. It's a good first half by Carlow.
Yeah, it's a good first half by Carlow. Like, you know, but they're playing really well. You know, they have to be a little bit wasteful of several wides, but you know, they're competing so well, and they're dominating most lines there, Brendan.
Certainly are. Here come Offaly though. There'll be plenty of hurling in Offaly as they come through the middle of the park. Jack Screeney does a great run there. Dermot Byrne stood up and tried to be defensive. Conor Lawler comes out, keeps his man at bay. The man he was trying to keep at bay was Liam Langton, but Langton is a lovely player, knocked it back to Joey Keenahan, and the Clydie Gales men link well together, but that's a bad wide for Offaly.
Yeah, the centre forward.
Is that the fourth wide or third?
They're fifth,
yeah.
fifth. Yeah.
Four I have. So there we are. So 14 points to 5. Offaly probably, I know they're in the final, but they'll be disappointed that they've only. Here's this man has scored 2 already. James Doyle. He's going looking for 3. Beautiful strike on the ball. James Doyle is having the game of his life for Carlow. The man from Nave Moling, 3 points from play. John Nolan's got 1. Paddy Boland's got 1. A sideline and a point from Chris. 5 frees from Marty. Conor Keogh with a point. John Mike and Nolan with a point. Fia Griffiths-Patrick with a point. Carlow lead by 10 points. We're on the stroke of half-time turns, Kelly.
Yeah, they led by 15 the last day in half-time, but no, they're playing off here, like, and you know, they said that they're playing so well, and you know, this day 2 weeks is the big day, Brendan.
Certainly is, but it's not the big day yet. Have to get out of here. Here comes a big ball from Kevin Mack. Paddy reaches another one. Went to the clouds for that one. It's there for someone to come out foraging for it at the end of the ruck. Chris Nolan's looking for his work and his socks off over there. Chris Nolan, he had 3 men beside him. Offaly win that ball. It's now 1-9 to Laois. It's 11 points to Kerry. Here come Offaly. John Murphy from Ballinamer from distance sends it in. Good score, John Murphy.
That's a good score.
Good score by the man from Ballinamer. He sends it in. Nice hurler too, John.
Yeah, that's a great score, Brendan, like, from a long distance outside.
Carlow goes short, all about possession. Kevin MacDonald drills it to the middle of the park, man in space. Fia Griffiths-Patrick didn't strike that as well as he should have had. Tom and Ali are going mad, because when you have time like that and do things quickly like that, accuracy is the name of the game at this level. He should have scored that.
Yeah, well, every day, you know, he gets a score to it literally every day, Brendan.
Should have scored that one.
Yeah, he should have scored that one. Like, he generally gets 1 or maybe 2, and Dermot Byrne is the same. Like, but you know, he'd be disappointed with that one.
Certainly will. Here come Offaly. Centre back is Killian Sampson. Killian across towards Conor Hardiman. Conor, one of the debutants today in the Joe Mack. And here is the clearance from Killian Sampson, Shinrone man. Plenty of experience. Dermot Byrne watched it all the way. His hand pass out to Kevin MacDonald. Kevin MacDonald is really moving well. Kevin drills it down into the corner. Run onto his Paddy Boland. First touch is vital for Paddy. That ball came out at 100 miles an hour. He's a big man Boland. He's trying to win it back, and Marty Kavanagh has it. Here goes Marty. Marty Kavanagh, Chris Nolan inside him. Marty Kavanagh. Oh, great save by the keeper. Brilliant save by Eamon Cleary. Brilliant save, and he's making his debut in the Joe Mack in 2023. That could have been a goal for Carlow, but full credit to the Offaly keeper, Eamon Cleary. That was a great save.
Listen, honest to God, he's a cracking keeper. Like, that's, you know, this is his debut, but you know, he'd be delighted with that save. That was a brilliant save. Like Chris was, or Marty was through, and we looked man to man, but this team made a magnificent save. But I see Carlow kind of preparing the sub here, Brendan, are they?
Could be. We'll just have another chat with John here from Midlands Radio 3. No one can say Offaly are not trying anyway, John. That was a great save.
Yeah, it was a super save there from Eamon there. As you said, they're making his debut there, and you know, he's played 2 games in the league. But it's great to see him getting a chance here today. But it was definitely, I felt maybe there was one more pass in it, Brendan, and maybe it should have been a goal for Carlow. But listen, Carlow completely on top. We've no answer from anywhere. Once that ball goes into that full back line, they're going to work the ball short, work the ball long. They have a great kind of a method to their game. They have 2 options, to go short and go long, and it's really working for them.
You're still happy with your aerial battle as well?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the aerial battle. I think that's the big thing for them. It takes fierce pressure off. If you can drive the ball to the full forward line, and you have three or four ball winners, and that's what you have.
And there's a half-time whistle. Thanks for that, John. That's John Lai, Midlands Radio 3. The half-time whistle goes in Netwatch Cullen Park. It's a 10-point lead for Carlow. Meanwhile, in Tralee.
Yeah, but like, if when you win now, they say to beat nobody, you know, like Offaly a very watered down team. But like, if you get the chance to with Offaly today, you put out your hand where you would with your hurl, try to get on the team.
Of course you would.
You would, you know, and it's kind of.
I think Offaly will lose out by doing what they're doing themselves. But anyway.
Yeah. And there's only 2 points between Laois and Kerry. Laois are by 2. Down are beaten Kildare by 8 points.
George, sorry, no, it'll be quick, so.
No, sure, do it after. Sorry, do it after. Do it after.
Yeah, thanks very much. Just before we do start the second half here, George Darcy, Bagnallstown Gales with me. George, you're going well, but you have a big weekend in Carlow at the Fairgreen Shopping Centre for the club. You're the Féile and hurling and football champions. You're having a collection.
We had a collection today. We want to say thank you to the Fairgreen, and we have a number of other events coming up shortly. We have our own collection on the 9th and 10th of June.
Okay, we'll be come back to that in a minute, George. James Style races through. Carlow laid off. Go on, they've spoiled it here. But thanks for that, George. I know we got caught for time here with the draw and all, but we'll be talking to you. Great work,
We're very proud of our lads. We're double champions. It hasn't happened in Bagnallstown since the year 2000, so we're looking forward to 2 good weekends.
Well done, and we'll have a chat with you. We'll have a chat with you full time.
Yeah.
Thanks, George. George Darcy, Carlow goal chance there. Turns didn't take it,
Yeah.
and Offaly come back. It's 16 points to Carlow, 6 points to Offaly at half time here in Netwatch Cullen Park. 16-6 is the score. Carlow trying to defend this one, and they do defend it fairly well. Paul Dale runs out, spoils that one. Carlow are onto a bit of ground hurling from Carlow downfield towards the man in the half forward line. That's Chris Nolan running forward, drives it downfield, and it drops inside into the edge of the square. Carlow just trying to get a bit of change on it, but the corner back Conor Hardyman does well for the Offaly men. Clears it out towards the 45, down to Joey Keenahan. Joey Keenahan, is the Carlow man in trouble here. John Michael Nolan, I think he's going to get a yellow card here. Don't think there was any malice in.
No, there were no malice, but he still kind of cut him across the chest with the hurley as he was coming out. Like he put up the hurley just to deflect the ball off his hurley.
You know what that's going to do now? That's going to encourage the boys to take him out because
that's the yellow card for him
because it's dicey with if there's a final pending, you need all the fellas you can get.
The Offaly team for the start of the second half. Number 18, Annie Kelly, replaced number 6, Killian Thompson. And number 17, Paddy Clancy, replaced number 13, Carlow.
So there's 2 changes on the Offaly team in the second half. Carlow is gone, Killian Sampson is gone, and in comes Paddy Clancy of Belmont and Evie Kelly from Lusma. So they're in on the field of play at the moment. So the scoreboard reads 16 points to 6. It's a 10-point lead for Carlow here at half time in the Joe McDonough round 5. The Offaly man receives a little bit of attention down there in front of us on the right hand side. So it is a 10-point lead, and the sun still shines brightly here, and everyone's welcome to our coverage here from Netwatch Cullen Park, and it is brought to you with thanks to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company. Check them out on raywhelan.ie, and that is the story at the moment. And the Offaly man, he's coming out, he's cut, I think. So
yeah, he has maybe a nose beat or maybe.
Yeah, so they're going to have to make another change here. I think it's the centre forward, is it? It is. It's the centre forward, Joey Keenahan, yeah. So 112 to Laois. 14 to Kerry, is it?
Yeah.
112 to 14. So there's a point in it in Tralee, but it's all the 1-1 happens down there if Carlow win here. Carlow in the final. Here come Offaly on the attack, high dropping ball. Conor Lawler gets a touch onto it. Dermot Byrne picks up the pieces. Out he comes and uses it wisely, plays it across towards the middle of the park. Chris Nolan is back helping out there. Good hook from the Offaly man. Carlow run onto it. The man wearing 9 for Carlow is Kevin MacDonald. He done well, but Offaly win it back. Now Offaly are going to go looking for goals. Conor Lawler bats it down, spoils play. Carlow have got to deal with this. Offaly coming back at them big time. Referee said there's been a chop down there. It's a free into Offaly. It was a harsh enough one, turns. I don't think that would be a chop if Kilkenny were playing Waterford, would it?
Anyway,
it's a free in.
The referee deems it as a free in anyway, and the full forward coming out to take it there, Shane Dooley.
Shane Dooley, he's knocked over a few in the first half. I suppose Offaly will be disappointed, didn't get that many scores in play, but as John was saying there from Midlands Radio 3, the Carlow defence have really shipped up and done very, very well. And when the ball comes forward, their aerial combat is very, very good. As Shane Dooley sends in another one and sticks it over the bar for the Offaly men.
Well, they got 2 from the half back line from play anyway. Shane Dooley got 1 from play also, and John Murphy. Yeah, he got 1 from play.
16 points to 7. Carlow haven't scored in the second half yet. Offaly have. Paddy Boland rose for that. The breaking ball will go to Offaly. John Michael is looking for possession on that far side, and Carlow trying to dig it out. The battle continues in the wing half back position. Here come Offaly. Their corner back is James Nally from Belmont. Didn't get much in the first half. It was Paul Dyle, the captain. He's done really, really well. Switches it to Fiacre Fitzpatrick runs through the middle of the park, does really, really well. Couldn't catch it for the third time. Plays it across field towards Marty Kavanagh, but the interception came from the Offaly full-back Ben Keneally. He's a fine player, Ben Keneally. Drills it back downfield. Offaly are playing with a bit of urgency at the moment. They're going to go looking to take scores here now. Carlow can't take their foot off the pedal. Here comes the new man, Paddy Clancy. Paddy Clancy takes the return ball. Carlow wrap him up. He's trying to get another shot in here. Back to the man wearing 10. The man wearing 10 for Offaly is Liam Rankin, and a man from Clyde Gale sends it over the bar. 2 points in a row for Offaly, and there's no one can say they're not trying at the moment, turns Kelly, because Offaly, they really went about their business that time. Carlow should have cleared the ball, however.
So listen, well, they're all over Carlow, for the last 3 or 4 minutes there, but it's early days. But it's a little bit worrying because of how Carlow kind of standing back of them.
And there's going to be a free here, I think. The referee hasn't given an advantage. The new man flicks it in field. Kevin Mack has got to tidy it up. He turned well. He's done well there. Referee goes to hand over the forward. There's no free given there. Dermot Byrne got a great block done, but the falls to an Offaly man in space. He's got to score this. Or has he? Brian Tracy is out. Brian Tracy gathers it on the goal line, and he winds up and he clears it downfield. And Fiacre Fitzpatrick said, "Why didn't you give it to me?" He just wanted to get it out there because Carlow, to be fair, they're just tippy-tapping in there and they put themselves under pressure. And I think Carlow could have got the line ball over on the far side. The Offaly man is back in. Joey Keenahan, still 16 points. Carlow 8 points to Offaly. A goal is realistically what Carlow want, isn't it, Terence? Even though they're winning by 8 points.
Yeah, it is, Brendan. Like the lineman here is holding up the flag, whatever wrong here, whatever he's trying to get.
There's a change. He's just saying that 11 has gone back in, I think, and he's waiting for the other man to come off the field.
Yeah, you're on the ball. Yeah, number 19 is the one who's being withdrawn. He was just a temporary substitution.
Here comes the sideline cut for Carlow. Jack Kavanagh sends it in around the half forward line. 2 Carlow men competing there for the ball. Paddy Boland tried to get onto it. Here comes Martin Kavanagh. Marty Kavanagh sends it in and sends it over the bar. He was kept at bay for much of that first half. That's his first point from play, but everybody knows how dangerous he is. Marty gets his first from play, and he's got 6 points from frees in the first half. 17 points Carlow, 8 points to Offaly. Here's the puck out coming from Eamon Cleary. Eamon Cleary sends it downfield. It's a massive ball for Offaly. Carlow's Conor Lawler taps it down. Jack McCullough tidied up. He's done some nice hurling today, Jack McCullough, out to the middle of the park.
He's after having a great campaign, Brendan.
John Michael Nolan tried to take that on the run, didn't work out. Back comes Marty Kavanagh, worked hard for it. Was it John Nolan? There's so many white helmets out there, I couldn't disguise which one it was. But Carlow's John Michael Nolan comes after this one. Breaking ball goes towards James Stein. Nobody can get it up off the rubber here. Who has it? The Mouse. He came out of a hole there, the Mouse, and he has it. He's travelling forward. He's time. He has space. He has the ball. And Marty Kavanagh says, "Thank you very much." He's got 2. That's what's good about that fella. Another fella give up the ghost. He went in, there was a ruck situation, what they call it in hurling. Nobody could get a grasp of it. 3 Offaly lads, 3 Carlow lads. In comes Marty round the corner, bang, 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 over the bar.
Like he's being played from in front at the present time. There's a big man and he's playing from in front, but Kevin Mack is having a massive game, Brendan.
Excellent game from Kevin, downfield to the middle of the park. Here comes Fiacre Fitzpatrick. Oh, that's a brilliant ball. Has it gone too far? Beautiful stick work, Chris Nolan. Nolan turns his man. He's gone towards goal. He was held. There's no advantage off his left-hand side, and the man from Johanna sticks it in and over the bar. Beautiful hurling from Nolan. 2 from play, 1 sideline cut. Carlow up and running in the second half. 19 points to 8, and it is a fair performance at the moment from Carlow.
That's a fair performance. He'll be disappointed maybe he didn't get to go before half time, but listen, that's a cracking score. Sideline ball, 2 from play. He's doing really well.
There's big John Michael races through on this one. John Michael Nolan looks away from his man, didn't put enough into that one, tips it to the left and wide. That's not good enough at this level, Terence Kelly. No. He's got to put that away.
Well, it's true, like, you know, he said he was kind of half hooked as he went to hit the ball, but he'll be disappointed that he didn't get to score, like, you know.
John Lahey. John is here with me again from Offaly, Kilcormac man. I'm proud of it. Offaly got off to a good start, but Carlow weathered that little storm.
They have the DJ. We're always going to get that kick back, you know, like Evan Kelly there is after coming in there, Paddy Clancy. He looked dangerous enough, but the fairness is just going to be about settling down. Carlow are too much on top. There's too many answers for us all over the field.
Yeah, going forward, if Carlow do hang on here today, John, people in Offaly will probably say, well, Carlow caught us last year, and that there won't be an easy task in the final if they get there, but I take it Offaly wouldn't love Laois in the final either.
No, Offaly wouldn't like Laois either. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are saying then, is Offaly coming down maybe to avoid Laois? That's not the case. No, we're in a position whereby we can feel maybe lads that haven't got game time.
You've earned it.
Yeah, we've earned it, is right, yeah. And there's a lot of lads here now need to step up to the mark, but you just can't get the better of Carlow. Carlow is physically stronger. As I said in the first half there, you can go short, you can go long, and it's really working for you.
So here come Carlow, they're going short this time. Here's a goal chance. Conor Keogh. Conor Keogh left the ball up back of the net. The man from Naomh Bowling. Now you can start getting ready for Croke Park. Carlow's Conor Keogh. I said he's always good for a goal, but turns when John was giving his synopsis, he was crediting Carlow with the way they're playing. There's a goal from Conor Keogh. He always pops up for one.
Listen, Chris got the ball first, saw Marty on his inside, flicked it to Marty. Marty saw his snub man just in front of him, flicked it over to him, and the rest is hanging up on the board there, Brendan.
It certainly is. 119 to Carlow, 8 points to Offaly. They're playing very well, defending great. Here's Fiacre Fitzpatrick. He's having a great game for Carlow. Ball goes to Marty Kavanagh. Has he enough length in this one? The Naomh Bowling man pushed it a little bit out to the left, and it's gone wide, but the chances are coming for Carlow. How many wides is that in total? 2 in the second half.
They're after having 7 in the first half and 2 in the second half, and Offaly are after having 5 wides altogether.
In favour of Laois. 2-13 to 16 points. Laois leading by 3 points in Tralee. Carlow lead by 119 to 8 points here in Netwatch Cullen Park. Clock says 9.5 minutes gone in the second half. Here's Offaly from the middle of the park. Their number 8, Paddy Delaney. Paddy from Kinnity, and he sends it in and over the bar. We played the Offaly Rover for the Offaly lads on the radio last night. We played Take Me Home to Carlow for the Carlow lads. The two of them look like they'll be in the Joe McDonagh final. Carlow just got to keep their foot to the pedal here against Offaly, who are already there. John Nolan, the man from Rahana, he's done well. He's battling well down there. He's had a great Joe McDonagh thus far. Young Johnny works his socks off, but Offaly do come up with that ball. Chris Nolan put in the shoulder. He caught the Offaly man. And Chris knows that he was wrong there, and he just has to mind himself. He caught him high, and I think the referee, I don't think he's going to card him, or is he? He caught him.
I would say he will.
Yeah, it's a yellow card. I think, to be fair, he didn't really.
No, he didn't mean it, Brendan.
No, because you see, but the other thing as well, you know you're heading for a final and you want to play in Croke Park, so you just.
Absolutely.
The Offaly chap was hurt, in fairness to him. Chris caught him.
He did. He did. In fact, he went to duck out underneath him, and
he caught him by the shoulder.
He did catch him,
Hopefully he's all right, like in fairness, some of these Offaly lads, they've been fringe players, they're getting their chance today, and the one thing about Offaly is they do have a bigger pick than Carlow. They have a few more teams up there, and they're remarkable people what they've done.
I think they're 11 senior club. They are 11 senior club, but they have a massive record in the hurling world, Brendan.
They certainly have.
All Ireland Club titles.
Yeah, Burr, St. Ryan's.
And Kildare were beat in the final, and Kilcormac were beat in the final.
And there's Joey Keenahan, red name in Offaly, sending it downfield. Brian Tracy playing with confidence, the Carlow goalkeeper. Gets it to Jack Kavanagh, he's certainly playing with confidence. 119 to Carlow, 9 points to Offaly. 11 minutes gone here in Netwatch Cullen Park in the second half. Carlow leading here and look like they have 1 foot in Croke Park on the 27th of May. The Joe McDonagh Cup final. It will be played with the All-Ireland Under-20 hurling final. The Leinster final is here on Wednesday night, and that is Wexford will be here as the ball is trying to be cleared downfield, and it is Offaly who try and win it back. Discipline, the name of the game from Carlow. McCullough's got to be careful, don't give him anything foolish. Offaly 15, knocks it back. John Murphy scored in the first half, coming through. Carlow stay with him, closing down. Evan Kelly sends it back to his cornerback, and James Nally stick one over the bar. The man from Belmont sends it in, he sticks it over the bar. It's another score for Offaly, and the man from Belmont puts them onto double scores, 10 points. But Carlow lead by 119 to 10 points here. The sun dips in behind a grey cloud. Brian Tracy of Nave Michael on the hurling team of the week sends it downfield. Carlow rise highly for it. There's a broken stick there. The Offaly man's stick is broken. Paddy Boland, I don't know whether he grabbed the stick or grabbed the ball, but Jack McCull intercepts a great ball. Nice hurling from the back of the stomach. He's really come on in his game, hasn't he?
And in every game, like, he has improved in every game. Like, he started early on, he maybe a little bit nervous, but his league has been very good ending up, and his Joe Mac has been very impressive.
This fella's been excellent as well. Fiacre Fitzpatrick, great ball. Finds Marty Kavanagh and Lakers of space. Marty sets up a big one. Marty Kavanagh sends it down. He can chalk it down as we look to Lugnaquill and the Wicklow Mountains in the background, and Collection to the left in the sunshine of Carlow. The sun peeps back out. Up pops Marty Kavanagh. He's a pleasure to watch on any given day. 120 to Carlow, 10 points to Offaly. Carlow consistent, scored 6 goals and 23 points last week. They scored a lot of big scores.
3 in the second half from play, Brendan, and 6 in the first half from frees. So I'm just saying he's a prolific scorer.
Conor Keogh, well, Conor Lawler just got to be careful here, but the big man from the Carlow Town Hurling Club drives it downfield. Running onto it is Chris Nolan. Offaly try and mop it up. Ben Keneally was there, but Joey Keenahan of Clyde Gales takes it on. Chris Nolan robs it back, and he comes across field, gets a little bit of a yard for himself. Stays going Chris Nolan, the IT Carlow man. And I think, is there a free coming?
Yeah, there's a free coming, Brendan.
No, it's a wide ball, I think. There was no advantage there. There was no advantage.
Wide.
Offaly go quick, into the middle of the park. John Michael tries to close down the man in possession. The man in possession is Conor Langton. Conor Langton does well, feeds it to the far side towards his Clyde Gales club mate Liam Langton. They're brothers. Liam sending it downfield. Carlow try and win the break inside. Jack Kavanagh, last line of defence for Carlow on this occasion, stays with Conor Langton. Langton is a lively player, but Kavanagh has a huge experience. He played in the Leinster final for Carlow, minor final in 2006, and he's been one hell of a servant. And we really thought he wasn't coming back this year, and he's come back. And you know what I'm going to say? In all the years I'm watching him, I think this is possibly his best, from the St Mullins Championship win to the match against Ferns to Carlow. He's been absolutely fantastic.
Listen, Jack won't mind me saying this, but normally he's booked in the first 10 minutes of the match.
You could have left it out. You could have left it out.
He's after having a really quiet year. He's after playing so well. He's been excellent, and he's after getting the yellow card too.
There now?
Yeah, he's after getting one, Brendan. Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Well, anyway,
not like him.
The referee must have heard me.
120 to 10 points. Carlow lead here in the Joe McDonagh. This game brought to you with thanks to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company. Check them out on raywhelan.ie. Offaly mop this one up with cornerback James Nally. He puts it out over the line, or does he? Yeah, Dermot Burns says I'm going to take this one. The clock ticks into the 15th minute of the second half. 120 to Carlow, 10 points to Offaly. So it's 23 points to 10. It's a 13-point advantage, and it's not too long ago you were above in Tullamore when Carlow came back from 13 points down to win the league. And that was on a horrible afternoon in Tullamore. But they've had some old battles with Offaly in recent times as Dermot Byrne cuts this sideline ball downfield. It hasn't worked out well. Carlow just want to keep their shape. They've lost it momentarily. Jack Kavanagh runs across. Offaly man coming forward. Lovely turn, Liam Langton. But I did say he's a stylish player. Drills it down to the full forward line. Offaly show well. Laying it off. Goal chance. Offaly coming here now. Carlow have got the defenders. The shot going in. But Carlow, to their credit, defended that very well. Three men got goal side. Offaly went to the right hand side and wide.
In fact, I remember last year Brendan above in Tullamore, Matt Connor just saying after the match, I think they have a lovely team. We won by 5 points up there, and as I said, we're in the final now next week, in 2 weeks' time, hopefully.
Hopefully. It's not over yet. John Nolan climbs for one on the far side. Mount Leinster Rangers. John, brother of Chris, of course. Out come Offaly. Referee says John was doing a bit of holding. And you know what? He did his living best not to hold the Offaly man, but however, he dropped the hurl.
No, he works hard.
He works hard,
He works hard,
He certainly works hard. John, just we were complimenting the Carlow forwards. Well, you were yourself and complimented the team, but defensively I think they've done really well. They got 4 men goal side of the Offaly who looked like were going for goal there, but Carlow defended that well.
They're working as a unit there, Brendan. They're very organised, and I suppose like when you're up at 120, 10 points, confidence starts to grow as well. But from the very start there, they were very organised. If one man was going up the field, there was always someone covering back. But the one thing I find with them there, Brendan, is we just can't break them down. Like, we haven't got an opportunity where we could actually take a Carlow man on and actually leave him behind us, create the overlap.
You're impressed with them today?
Very impressed with them.
Here come Carlow, working it well. Thanks, John. John Lahey from Midlands Radio 3. Kilcormac man gets it at Dermot Byrne. Nice play by Carlow, right across the field to the far side. Lovely switch back in field. Marty Kavanagh's in space, turns onto his left-hand side. Marty Kavanagh sends it in, and Carlow certainly on the way to Croke Park now. They're opening up Offaly at every angle. Marty Kavanagh sends it in, sends it over the bar. I make that 4 from play and 6 from frees. 10 in total for the record, all-time record score in Carlow hurling. Marty Kavanagh, another great score, another great move.
Yeah, another great score. But Paddy Bowen has taken off after credit. He took the ball over the old press box side, the far side of the Networks Cullen here, and he saw Marty inside. He could have taken his own score, saw Marty in the better position, gave it to his club mate, and that's his fourth from playing the second half.
121 to 10 points. Carlow lead here. James Dial having a cracker, the St. Mullins man. Blocked down this time. Carlow have to run fit. Here comes Fiacre Fitzpatrick. He's had a great game. Fiacre Fitzpatrick. He's put it wide. Put it wide. Offaly are bringing in a man wearing 19. David King of Coolderry.
David King replaced number 12, Conor Langton.
So Conor Langton has been withdrawn. Conor has done his bit today. David King of Coolderry comes in. We've seen David before, an experienced player.
Coolderry, a club that were beaten in All-Ireland club final some years ago, but like David is, he's gone into the half-back line.
Yeah, there wouldn't be 100 miles from Burrows the crow flies there. Not too far out the road from Rossbury either, but there I say they're close to Tipperary. They're Offaly through and through. Conor Lawler at full back. Let that one run through. It goes through to Paddy Clancy. Paddy at Belmont. Back out field towards Shane Dooley. Shane Dooley, he'd love to get onto the Offaly team for the Joe McDonagh Cup final in Croke Park, but doing things like that will keep him off it. But I tell you one thing, he scored plenty to keep Offaly hurling going through good times and bad times. Shane Dooley, that's gone to the left and wide with thanks to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company. Check them out on raywhelan.ie. It's been a complete performance by Carlow here today. 121 to Carlow, 10 points to Offaly. We're into the 19th minute of the second half. They'll still have to work on work turns. It's hurling, anything can happen, but I know they have a good bit of space on that board now as Offaly come forward. That ball just didn't stick, and the man who got it was Evian Kelly from Lusmat. Came off his stick. Jack McCullough was defending well. It's going to be a line ball to Carlow. There'll be no great panic to take this one. Just a word on Tom Mullally. You know, we worried in the league and we didn't, and people were critical after the first round of the league and said he's managed the situation very well, hasn't he?
And then you look at his CV, that's all you have to do. As I said, he brought 2 unfashionable counties to win All-Ireland titles. Naas, intermediate, Mount Leinster Rangers, intermediate. Brought Rangers to the senior final to be beaten over 14. But like, he's a man, he's a good head, like, you know.
There's Chris Nolan, great move, Carlow. Chris Nolan goes forward, he's looking for a goal here. His hand pass was dodgy. He's going to get the free. He knew the free was coming. It's a free for Carlow for a pull back from the Offaly defender. And Offaly at bits of 6s and 7s now at the moment. And Carlow advancing and going forward here, 121 to 10 points. And George Darcy, were you expecting this today? And I know you're here supporting Carlow as you always do, but your own man is doing very very well today, Jack McCullough, but great find in the last few years. But it's a good performance by Carlow, regardless of what other counties are saying. Offaly were through. As I said to Pat, or John here beside me from Offaly, Offaly made their look. They won their 4 matches. They can do what they like.
They can do what they like, indeed. And again, Carlow had to come out today. They had to win their match. And that's what they're trying to do. And it's looking very good for them. And all they can do now is prepare for the next day.
If they hold on, it's looking like they will now. Marty 6 that one over the bar.
Absolutely. I think they're playing very well. Very pleased with them. Pitch is looking well, and nice crowd here. So
Certainly is. The rally for support. Now Marty Kavanagh with another one. Sticks it in and over the bar. Here come Carlow. Chris Nolan from distance. Chris Nolan. Now, if he hasn't got that, it's disappointing, but he has. He has. He would have been disappointed if he missed it. That's a sideline cut and 3 from play. And when the Mount Leinster Rangers man is doing that, my John, the top of the leaderboard back in February, I don't know what he has now, but up to in 73 games, he has scored 18 goals and 217 points for Carlow. That's a total of 271, and he's a massive career ahead of him, Chris Nolan. I think he's only 24, maybe 25. He's been absolutely brilliant as a Carlow player. This fella's had a great game today. Dermot Byrne, the sledge brother of Eddie, of course, who's now retired. Gets it into James Dial. He's going for a big one, but a bit of a backspin of that. Paddy Boland is under. Now comes Paddy. Breaking ball. Hurl has gone fly. Paddy's done well. Comes back around the corner. He's done really well. The St. Mullins man. He's been hauled to the ground there. He's going to get the free. Oh, he didn't get the free. No free there, Ter.
I thought he was in Thomond Park there for a minute, like the cornerback. But anyway, listen, we may continue. Like we're doing okay. 1:23 to 10.
Yeah.
21 minutes gone.
And just a word on Paul Dial today.
Listen, Paul Dial is Paul Dial. As I said to you so many times, he don't seem to come out that many balls, but you don't see anybody going in.
Yeah, well, here come Offaly. You're going in with this one. There's a shot and goal here. It's gone to the right and wide, and I just get the Offaly view on that one. Michael Dignan told me in Offaly a few weeks back in the league that Paddy Boland had a great hand. Should that have been a free for Paddy Boland?
Well, I suppose I think he got enough of them at this point. If it was tight, we wouldn't be complaining about it.
No.
Well, considering the days in it, we'll give it to you. Yeah.
Okay, he's a good hand, hasn't he?
He has a great hand. There's no question about it. But I know you look very dangerous up there. I'm surprised actually, Brendan, that you haven't got another goal or two, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you had the options there, but lads are probably maybe just sauntering through, know that you're winning well and popping over the bar, but you are opening them up. There's no question that you're opening up the Offaly defence there on 2 or 3 different occasions.
And Croke Park and Sue Carlow, any time they've been in it, they've won. Christy Ring, Joe McDonough, they've done well.
Listen, when you look at Offaly Carlow and you look over the last few years, like you have it on us when it comes to the big stage. There's no question, we'll have it all to do when it comes to it.
They'll have to rub it into Dignan if Carlow win this, John McDonough.
Well, that's for sure, yeah. You go hiding for a while, I'd say.
Thanks, John. I'll have a chat with you later on. John Leahy from Kilcormac. John Nolan put one wide there. John of Mount Leinster Rangers. Carlow with an ideal opportunity. 123 to Carlow. 10 points to Offaly. 22 minutes gone here in the second half. We do hope all the Carlovians across the globe are enjoying this one on the KCLR app. We will be in Croke Park if they make it to the final. They still have a bit of work to do. A long way to go, but they're well in control here now at the moment as Offaly come forward through Shane Dooley. The Tullamore man drives it downfield, and that's gone to the left and wide. And I think John is looking for me to come back in here. We have a we have an update here from Laois.
Yeah, Laois are 7 points up, 17 to 16 points.
They'll be cursing Carlow, won't they? Laois are 7 points up down in Tralee. Never an easy place to win. Here come Carlow on the attack. Oh, that's a foul. Conor Keogh just has to step away from his man. He got jostled to the ground there by Joey Keenahan. And Carlow just have to keep their discipline. Connor chases back. Here come Offaly. Are they going to go looking for a few goals in the tail end of this match? Carlow in cruise control. Even Kelly, the Lusma man, feeds it into the middle of the park. Offaly run through, taking the strike and goal. That's gone in and over the bar, and it's been rare, but it's been a good move, and it was really created very, very well. And the man to send it over the bar was Aveen Kelly, the man from Lusma, wearing 18. He came on at half time. 123 to Carlow, 11 points to Offaly. 23 minutes gone, 12 minutes remaining here in Netwatch Cullen Park. I think they can hang on. Can't they? John Nolan in the wars on the far side. Offaly come out again. This fella's played well. James Nally scored earlier on from Belmont. Feeds the hand pass to David King. David from Coolderry goes from distance. Umpire has a good look at this and he says, now one thing Offaly will be disappointed with, and I know there's a lot of fellas here that are not on their first 15, but lads that are looking for their chances, accuracy has been poor.
Yeah, that's 6 in the second half and 5 in the first half, boys. Like, but you know, when Carlow have to have more. Carlow had 8 in the first half and 5 in the second half. So, you know, I said Marty is having a go again, Brennan.
That's absolutely top class. He's absolutely brilliant finish from Marty Kavanagh. Sends it in and over the bar. 24 minutes gone, 11 minutes remaining. 124 to Carlow, 11 points to Offaly, 6. Carlow blocked this one down. Here goes Marty Kavanagh again. His hand pass back to Fiacre Fitzpatrick. He's had a great game, Fiacre. Was he fouled that time? Gets the ball down towards John White. Good interception from Offaly, but Ben Keneally is a top quality player, and I can rest assured he will be full back in the Joe McDonagh final in Croke Park in 2 weeks' time. We've seen him play for St. Ryan several times before. This fella's making a name for himself as well. Liam Langton, tidy, busy, wing half forward, but Jack Kavanagh has mopped up a lot of ball along with Kevin MacDonald today for Carlow. 124 for Carlow, 11 points to Offaly, 24 minutes gone in the second half, now 25. Out comes Kevin Mack again, read it like a book, comes outfield, lovely stick man, lovely wrist, plays it into James Doyle. 3 great scores so far in the game, but that ball was a little bit too far in front of him, but the man from Bahana battled back. He goes forward again, James Doyle. Was he fouled? No, says the referee. That's a terrible call from Chris Mooney. Dreadful call. If it was a tight match, it'd be absolute mayhem. Conor Lawler runs, some momentum carried him forward, lost his balance as Paddy Clancy comes in from the corner for Offaly, sends it back out to the half forward line. The man there is Liam Langton. Liam Langton's missed the flight of the ball. James Doyle has it back. He goes from the 65 in his own half of the park. Has it got the carry? It's gone to the left and wide, but the last time that fella got into Croke Park, he opened it up. Substitution on the Carlow team. Fiaco Toole from Naomh Breed is coming in. And the man that's leaving is Conor Keogh. Well done, Conor. A goal and a point for the man from St. Mullins. He's been a revelation for Carlow the last number of years. He gets a great applause coming out there. And well done, Conor. He looks like he'll be heading back to Croker.
It is like, Brendan, and it's a place like they're 3 and 2 or 3 subs now. Like, said they have the game won. There's only 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left. And, they said it's an ideal place to give the chaps a win.
Don't forget, we bring you full live commentary from Ockram tomorrow afternoon. First round of the Talton Cup. Niall Carew's Carlow taking on Wicklow, Oisin McConville's Wicklow. Damien McMahon will be on commentary with us tomorrow, former Wicklow player, and of course Damien domiciled in Carlow for I think probably the last 25, 26 years, connected to the Palatine Club. His son Brian, of course, captain of the Carlow under 20 football team. So we're looking forward to Damien on coverage with us tomorrow. Willie of action, he's got a new knee, Willie Quinlan. Talk of a comeback for Carlow, and they're wrong, not too far away. But we look forward to bringing you the coverage tomorrow live from Ockram. 124 to Carlow here, 11 points to Offaly. The summer will continue for Carlow turns because a place in the Joe McDonagh guarantees Carlow a home quarter final. Right, if you win the Joe Mac, it's third place in Leinster. If you lose the Joe Mac, third place in Munster. If Wexford could finish third and Carlow win the Joe Mac, we'd have some battle here in a few weeks' time. But that's a long way off.
Yeah, well, listen, the main thing is that we're going next week anyway, and Carlow had a little bit of an injury there. But Paul died with his grand, he's back up again now, we just kind of feel his knee, but the medics have looked after him, and I think Paul is going off. Yeah, but listen, it's not an injury as such, he just got a small
he's been minded, but he has been excellent today.
Listen, he's excellent. Paul died.
We're taking no chances. Captain of Carlow, he has a little bit of strap under the knee, but he will be alright. He'll get a nice round of applause as he leaves, so the captain from St. Mullins leaves the field of play. I don't like saying it. I always had a great time for Offaly all the years watching them playing. I was in Croker when they beat Kerry in that famous one in 82 as Carlow float in this one. And if it's over the bar, it's a great score from Fiaco Toole, but it's gone to the left and wide. But to be fair about it, Offaly were a little bit disappointed.
Well, they are maybe a little bit disappointed today, but people just say, it's a watered down team. And it is like, but the subs can't get young. And the fact, Carlow, they're winning subs down, and Niall Bulger's going in there, Brendan.
Yes, he certainly is and deserves it. Bagnestown Gales man, Niall.
I said, Offaly were in a great position, they won the 4 games, they won it easily.
Yeah.
And, it was an ideal position, went to everybody a game.
Yeah, lads in Laois will be giving out about this and saying that, but Laois went up to Tullamore and couldn't win it. Offaly come to Carlow. They were fortunate, it's the last match. Chris Nolan sends one in, nails it over the bar, 4 points in a sideline cut, and they can't have any complaints. And the other thing, I read a few articles during the week, a dubious penalty for Carlow against Laois. I mean, there was a man sent off, referee, how's it a dubious penalty? Someone got a clip on the head, how's it a dubious penalty? So you can't complain, you make your luck, you win your games. Carlow are unbeaten, Offaly are unbeaten, that tells its own story.
It's true, Brendan, it's absolutely true. As I said, that James Dale caught the ball, James was hit from behind with the hurley like the fella came down, maybe not deliberate, but he did catch him and there was a penalty and Marta did the rest.
Yeah, what about Kevin MacDonald? He's mopped up some ball.
And he is I'm delighted for Kevin Mack. I said his grandfather's tuned into it today, said 16 years married today, and that's another score for Marta.
Oh, it's wide.
It's wide, is it?
It's wide, yeah.
It's wide.
You'll have him 120 years married, you told us already,
anyway,
sir. You told us already.
No, I'm just saying, he'll be so happy, your grandchild is your grandchild.
It's Frankie's granddad.
He is
Frankie, Frankie. Here come Offaly, going looking for a goal. They're going to take a point. It's gone wide. 125 to Carlow, 11 points to Offaly. 29 minutes gone. Turns we can get ready for Croke Park. I think Jerry Doyle gave us the time there. It's on the 27th of May. Did he say 3:30?
This day,
It's the fortnight. 5:30.
5:30.
5:30. It's 5:30 on this day, Forney. Lovely. That'll get the flight in from London on time.
Are the under 20 matches on before?
5:30, is it? All Ireland under 20 is on before the Joe Max, so it's live on the television as well. But don't forget to stick with us. We've brought you every game here live on KCLR 96 FM as Carlow go forward looking for another score, and they could get one. This fella's worked his socks off today as well. Chris Nolan from Rahana, back to John Michael. Great to see the Michael man back. Whipped this one in around the corner. He had a go, but that's gone wide. It's not, the keeper gathers it. Eamon Cleary, the Shinrone man. 125 is 28 points for Carlow, 11 points for Offaly. We're on the half-hour mark in the second half. There's 5 minutes remaining. Carlow are going to play Offaly in the Joe McDonagh Cup. Don't let them down. They've been unbeaten all year, Carlow. Get your tickets for Croke Park on the 27th. It's not often Carlow people get to Croke Park. Terence Kelly, they have an ideal opportunity now. And as Billy Byrne said here at the Ferns match against St Mullins, that there's nothing wrong with Carlow hurling. The lads in Offaly have said it here. Michael Dygan has said it. Some great people have said it. Okay, we don't have the strength and depth in relation to other counties, but at the level they play in Division 2 and in the Joe McDonagh, they're value for money every time they go on the field, as are Offaly, to be fair to them.
Yeah, it's true, like, you know, they're a small county, like, and Offaly is a relatively small county too, like, you know, as we said so many times, they're probably punching above their weight, like, but they're very competitive, and, you know, their will to win is great, like, you know, and the back up, you know, they're like 15 brothers out there.
Here comes Marty Kavanagh with a free from the 65, Offaly half of the park. Marty floats it in, the umpire goes looking for the white flag. It's another one from Marty. How many has he got now?
Richie Cody's after going in there, Brendan.
Bit of experience there for Richie Cody, another cap for Richie, coming from the famous
Richie's gone in there, and
Cody.
His cousin has gone up there, Jack Cavan, his first cousin.
Jack has gone away, first cousin of him as well, well connected down there. I see Mick Murphy is on that big score sheet from Carlow. Mick scored 321 in 92 games, 17 goals and 270 points.
Jack is still there. No,
Jack is still there, yeah.
Jack is still there, Brendan.
But Richie is on.
Richie
is on, and that's gone in and over the bar. That's another one from Marty. So Carlow picking off scores here now. The Carlow crowd are happy. There's plenty of colour in the crowd here today. Let's hope there's colour in Croke Park for them as Dermot Byrne reaches for another one. Here's John Nolan.
Passed into his man who deemed to have fouled him, and he was free into Offaly.
Didn't think there was much in it, but the referee spotted it.
Yeah, well,
the Offaly chap is injured, so there's obviously a clash there. Yeah,
kind of a fronty charge.
Yeah, he got caught there as well. Yeah, so hopefully he'll be all right. Yeah, he's feeling the pain there, so Offaly bringing a change as well. Number 9, Paddy Delaney leaves the field, and 21 is in as Jack Clancy from Belmont. I'll just ask get the local knowledge here from John again. Paddy Delaney gone. Is he son of Paddy that sang the Offaly Rover Winners? No, is he related? Related, same Delaney's.
Yeah, same Delaney. Same out putting out, and they're in the same club.
We've a good few Offaly lads here in Carlow as well. Willie O'Rourke, brother of the late great Mick O'Rourke in Carlow.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
We've Harry Donnelly here for years as well, the famous Offaly footballer in the Sugar Company. So we've a good few Offaly lads down this side.
We'll give them a loan deal for a while now. We'll bring them back at some stage.
Okay, we'll be seeing you in a fortnight, John, because in 3 minutes left to go, Carlow and cruise control are 127 to 12.
Yeah, and fully deserved now, Brendan. Like, in fairness, that hurt from start to finish. The pressure was on them to go here to win. Like, Offaly didn't come down here just to play today match, came down to win as well. From start to finish, I was very, very impressed with them, the way they're moving the ball, very lively, very physical, well able to hold up in the tackle, very disciplined in the tackle. You look at it, there was very little that Shane Dooley got in terms of frees there today, so very disciplined.
3:22 to Laois, 20 points. The Kerry Laois will be disappointed, but they couldn't win here, they couldn't win in Tullamore. They can't complain.
No, they can't. That's it. You can't complain. You don't end. And when you're leading up to someone else to do it for you, you're always in trouble.
Yeah, certainly so. Thanks for that, John. We'll have a quick word with you after the match. Another one going in over the bar, turns 128.
It was Paddy Boland got off on Brendan, so he did.
128 to Carlow, 12 points to Offaly. 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
And Jack Tracy's after replacing Chris Nolan.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see Jack in. He's been a busy player all year. Yep. He's been in and out, and he's a hard worker. Jack Tracy from Ballinkillen. They're working hard down there as well. And here we go, Offaly. Nice intelligent ball back out to Shane Dooley. Shane Dooley sends it in, and Shane Dooley gets a white flag from play. Good score, nice move from Offaly, but it's only a consolation score. Fifth score of the day. Big thank you to Ray Whelan Waste Management, Carlow's leading waste disposal company. Check them out on raywhelan.ie. Carlow supporters can start getting ready for Croke Park on Saturday, the 27th of May. This day, 2 weeks, along with the All-Ireland Under-20 hurling final. Carlow in the Joe Mac final. Brian Tracy, a clean sheet for Brian today. Turns, he's had a great year.
Yeah, in fact, and very little to do today. You know, as I said, he's after having 3.
There's James Dyle. He started the game. Mark Lawler used to sing, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And here he goes, and he's going to finish on top couldn't get the swing in at this one. He was blocked down. In fairness to the Offaly defence, they've done well. Ben Keneally again doing well, gets it out to the middle of the park. Offaly clear it downfield. We're into the 35th minute, heading for added time. Dermot Byrne breaks that ball, but on come Offaly. Just got to be disciplined, Carlow. They haven't given away too many frees. Off come Offaly. Owen Parlin, brother of Call, played a few years ago. He comes back out, switches it back over to Shane Dooley. Shane Dooley says to him, don't send me a ball. In fairness to Dooley, he ran onto it. He ran onto it onto the 20-metre line. He still has a bit of class, Shane Dooley, and he's put that one in and over the bar. 2 points from play from Shane Dooley. 128 to Carlow, 14 points to Offaly. That's 31 points to 14, and Carlow bring in number 23, Paddy O'Shea of St. Mullins, is coming onto the Carlow team. And out comes Conor. No, it's not. It's not Conor. Who's coming out? Marty Kavanagh, he comes out down there. Marty comes in, comes off the park there. Another great day at the office for Marty. He picked up a quarterly award in the National Sports Star Awards last night for breaking his scoring record earlier in the year. He had 6 months, 3 minutes of additional time. I always say it's pointless when there's such a big scoreline, but the fellas that Carl have introduced are trying to make a name for themselves. That time it was Fiaco Toole, the Nave Breedman, sends it across field as far as John Nolan. John Nolan, nice intelligent baller, was it? It was. It worked out well in the end. John Nolan sent it back to Fiaco Toole. Nice play from the Nave Breedman. Kevin MacDonald fancies one from distance, and the Mount Leinster Rangers man says, happy anniversary, Nanny and Grandad. Thank you very much. What a score.
Listen, he said he pops up in one more days, two some days, like, but you know, it's an outstanding hurler.
We're into the first minute of additional time. 3 we have here coming in Netwatch Cullen Park. Crowd will go down and join the team after the match. This fella has been excellent at cornerback today. Jack McCullough.
Yeah, he's been excellent. All through the Joe Mackens after having a great run.
There's a great ball right across field. Can they do something here? Now turning and striking and putting it.
Jack Tracy, that's right. I think
did everything right bar to finish. Jack won a great ball. John Nolan gave it to him on a plate. It's 129 to 14 points. Offaly are into the Joe Mack final, where they will play Carlow on the 27th of May, live on TV, RTE, not on Go. We won't start around now. It's not on GA Go, it's on the television. Dermot Byrne, he's had a good performance today as well. From distance, John Nolan from Rahana sends this one down the field. He gave it welly, and that's wide as well, but they're getting the chances. Offaly are just saying, we're in the final, we're going to take a breather here. 129 to Carlow, 14 points to Offaly. 37 minutes just about on the clock. Offaly worked the ball downfield. Moving it quickly down into the corner. Carlow defended and do quite well. On this occasion, Niall Bulger stayed with his man, but he managed to centre it across the field of play. Offaly pulled the trigger, and that's gone wide, and they'll be disappointed. Evian Kelly scored a good point earlier on, the Lusma man, but he's put this one wide. 37 minutes, 1 to go turns. We're on the way to Croker. Sum up that performance. People will say Offaly weren't up to, but look at Carlow came out to do a job. They've done it.
Yeah, well, listen, when they'll win, they'll probably say, sure, Offaly had nobody.
They said the same about Down, and they gave us their best to get out of it last week.
Well, that's true, like, you know.
A good few of them lads now wouldn't be here today to talk like that.
Well, anyway, you know, they said, you know, no, that's true, but I'm just saying, like, only compete what's in front of you, and, like, Carlow, very impressive.
The big test will come in Croke Park as the ball goes downfield. Trying to get onto it is Jack Tracy. The bounce is back in the ground, the summer's in, the heat is up. Here come Offaly, they're going to get a consolation score. Liam Langton, he's been one of Offaly's positives today. Takes the return ball, Liam Langton, floats it in from the 45, but he goes wide. Now, he's looking to get his place on the team, and I wouldn't fault the chap for putting a wide like that, but overall, he's contributed well to Offaly in the game. He's given it his all.
Yeah, you know, 18 points.
It's all over. Carlow are into the Joe McDonagh final on a final scoring of 129 to 14. An Offaly team that really didn't threaten them today because they weren't allowed. We got